All right, I thought I'd take a break and just play some Tour 7. So they've got some new courses here for the last time where I was like just playing Tour 7, just like out playing. So the Oasis, Kohang Resort, and Jamel Dunes. I like all three of these courses, but there's some tough holes in here. So I'm gonna play them, set up some bags. I definitely want to take my normal bag, an accurate bag. Let's switch that out. I had that set up for a tournament hole. I definitely want to bring, normally with my big topper, I like to bring a big wood. I got a Guardian bag set up. Extra, I think I can get it done with those bags. We'll start off with this one. And I have one thing here at the beginning of this video. So one of my viewers, Flappy Master. So please upgrade the razor finally. I told you this a while ago. It will only improve your prism chests. So I want to talk about that real quick and then I'll play for a bit. But this is, so for all of you that are getting your rares up, there's a decision to be made. And I made that decision in this account that I have all of my rares upgraded except for my razor. So when I get my prism chest every day, I get 2 epics and the razor, and it's not upgraded yet. So I get to pick between those 2 epics, and I've picked 5 epics. I'm putting points into Spitfire. Anytime the Spitfire comes up, I want to put points in. I want to try and get that card up. The Off-Roader, trying to get it to level 7. And then we'll see when I get it to level 7. But I'm trying to, right at this point, try and put only in the clubs that I really want to work on. Cataclysm, Thor's Hammer, and the Apocalypse. And the Thor's Hammer, I mean, it would be nice if it got up there, but I've been kind of like toying around because I don't get the Thor's Hammer very often. So I've been toying around with really trying to look at the clubs to see where they're at, to see if it really qualifies for one of the top 5. As crazy as that may sound. So I've only got those 5 cards that I'm actually putting stuff into. So every day if I don't get one of those 5, I dump those points into my razor. So like looking at the math, this is how I'm looking at the math. Let me get my pen going here. So there's 20 epics. There's 20 epics. And I'm only looking for 5 of them. Okay, so I'm looking. So I have individually, each individual pick in the prism chest, I have a 5% chance of getting one of those 20 cards. And I'm looking, and so like my chances of getting the card that I'm looking for, because we know how this works. It's not a good deal as far as like how often Apocalypse cards come up. They don't come up as much as some Castaway or some other lower level epic, so you're not going to get those as often. So I have in my inventory, I have somewhere in this neighborhood right here. So I have about 300 days. I have about 300 days worth of trading that I can do if I didn't play at all. If I just got on every day and all I do was club card trading, I've got like 300 days. And right now on my razor, I have about 60. Now, the way it's been working is about every 3rd day. It's every other day. I'll have a streak where I'll have like 5 days in a row where I'll get the card I'm looking for. I'll get one of those 5. And then I'll have a stretch of maybe 4 or 5 where I don't. And then it'll go back and forth like every other day I'll have some. So if I did 1 in 3, or like 1 in 3 days I actually got something I was looking for. That leaves me 200 days that I put into this razor. So that razor is now at 260. And I harvested out 40 of the cards that I was looking for to try and get them up to their next level. And now I still have the 260. So I got 40 of exactly what I wanted. And I still have the 260. So once I'll get to a certain point where I'll run out of every other card. And if I want to participate, I'll have to upgrade the razor. And when that happens, now I'll have 3 epics a day. But you know it will happen where you'll get on that day, because you see this all the time, just just in the normal, where you'll get three that you'll get a boomerang, and you'll get a jungleist, and you'll get the castaway, or you'll get one of those cards that you're not really wanting to dump into. So what has to happen is you have to expand your list and pick cards so that you're every day, even though that's not a card you really want to dump points into, you're dumping points in it because eventually it is a decent card. But I'm just trying to maximize my points. That's the whole deal. And that's how I'm working it. So I mean, you can work it however you want, but this way right here, I get X amount of cards that I'm actually looking for. That's why I do it that way. So you can keep putting the post on there, Flappy. I'm okay with that, but I'm not gonna upgrade that card until I run out. That's just how it works. All right, here we go. Now I can't remember all the shootouts. So my whole goal right now is just to work on distance, make sure that I'm coming into the cup right, and then I'll try and work on trajectory. Because distance is more important than trajectory to start off with. So if you're stopping pin high, now do I go for this hole or do we? I don't really like the shot from over there, and this is always a fun shot to take. I don't think I can get over there with my. I don't think I have enough curl. Three, 5. Do max curl. Hitting it perfect. I think it's gonna go into the rough on the other side. It doesn't have enough curl to make around the band. Clipping the rough might have helped me. I'll have to look when I get to that shot and see where that trajectory would have bled out. I was trying to push it as much as I could. I actually might, it looks like I'm pretty damn close to that, where if I would have went too much farther forward, I would have bled off right along that line. It was real close. I may have stayed in the fairway and I may have bled off into that line. I'm going to try and stick with, in Tour 7, I'm going to try and stick with the Quasar as like, that's it. I'm just going to try and stick with the Quasar. There are some holes you can go out there and have fun on. If my opponent brings out a bigger ball, I may bring out a Titan. The king of balls. I remember when I first started playing, they had originally Golf Clash had an actual forum. Grizzly. There's Max. There's Man. Mid Club. Man Grizzly 1-1 a ring. Whew, that's a big ass wind. Two. I'm gonna move it at least 10%, so I'm gonna move 5-7. I can get pretty close to my rings though. There's 5-7. And I hit it great to the left, like 2.5 billion rings. It's almost like I overpulled it where the first bounce was up there. It looked like it was real close. Or maybe the first bounce was okay, but the second bounce was like super close. No, I think it is the first bounce right there. First bounce looked like it was a lot closer to the rough than where I'd set the shot up. I almost think what I need to do on this shot is set it up more to the left and pull it back a little bit and have to put more topspin on it. Bring out a bigger side spin ball like a Kingmaker. And an Apocalypse. All those things, and it might have been better. Look at that. All right, we're going to a shootout. It's okay, I like shootouts. The whole deal is when you first start playing a tour, don't be afraid to totally screw up on the shootouts, but it's more important to focus on distance and get your distance down so that your ball is stopping at the cup. And then once you get that down, like as you're getting that down, you can be focusing in on what kind of adjustment you need to make in order to get close to the hole. But yeah, I find that most people, if they would stop at the closest point they were to the cup, they'd win a lot more shootouts because they'll go past the cup 5 feet, 2 feet, but they were like 0.25 away from it at a certain point. If they'd have stopped right there, they would have won. All right, this is definitely a hole that we can get a hole-in-one on. Okay, and it's, whew, Jesus. %10 would be 9, and half that's be like 13, 10, that'd be 11 mile an hour pool. There's 5. There's 10, 11 and a half. And I hit a one ring grade to the left. A little bit too much backspin on there against that much headwind. That was a piss poor shot at it. I would have liked to have had my phone out, so I would have had my calculator. I was having to do the math in my head. What were you thinking? I was thinking I don't have my phone on me. That's what I was thinking. What are you doing, Buster? What are you doing? I'll step out on the back patio. There's motion at the front door. See if my opponent can get closer. Not a chance. All right. Can't be good, be lucky. Let's see if they want to replay. I liked it better when the replay stuff came up on the bottom. Come on, dude. Oh, man. No dice. All right, let's go in and play some Tour 7. My dog's going crazy. Koh Hong Resort, hole 9, par 5. See if I can remember how to play this hole. Seems like you play this hole. Yeah, okay, here's the deal. If you're playing this in tournaments, you always play to the right. And your whole goal is to get up into this fairway up by this shadow right here because you have a great straight in Albie shot. From the other side, you can get up and get an eagle. But from this side right here, if you do have a legitimate Albie shot. The problem here is that if you screw this drive up and you end up anywhere that's not in the fairway, even if it's back here in the fairway, it could be bad. But anywhere if you're in the fairway, you're okay. But if you're not in the fairway, you're screwed. And from the other side, you can get far enough up there that you can recover and still get an eagle. I'll play to the other side. I actually bring a bag just for this. This is why I bring that Big Topper Cataclysm. Here we go. I think that's bag number 3. It's 2 per ring. I'll take the side wind out. We'll see how far around that corner we can get down that fairway. That fairway is monstrous. And then we'll walk ourselves around that tree and get on so that we can get a putt for eagle or a chip. And it's just a series of 2 max overpower hook shots, or 2 max overpower curl shots. And we'll see if it's as easy an eagle as I remember on this hole. Why does my opponent have a 3-7 wind? And we just had a 10-mile-an-hour wind going that same direction. Gusts. I wish, to be fair, in one-on-one, I don't understand why the wind isn't like it is in tournaments. If it's blowing a direction on when you tee off, it's blowing that direction as you go through. Put a couple top spin on it. Maybe 2.5. I want to be good. So what kind of angle I got. Alright, take the wind out. Hit a 1 ring great to the right. And just try and toss it up there so that I can shoot a chip in. I actually would prefer to be off exactly where I'm at and just have a nice little chip in shot. When you're new and you've got lower developed clubs, that chip in shot blows. You want to be on the green so you're making a putt. If you've got like lower level stuff, so that's why as soon as you get, I think it's the Firefly, as soon as you get a Firefly, you want to start using it even at low levels. It gives you all the stuff you're looking for in an upper level club as far as top spin, where you can start when you're lower level. You miss a lot of those types of shots when your club's, the ball guide's not good, and you can compensate for it by carrying some of those clubs just for those shots. It's not a bad thing to be right off the green. And in some of these greens, I would rather be right off the green chipping it on as opposed to making a putt. I think there's motion at my front door. There is. And the dogs go crazy. Plus it gives you practice at these shots. We'll see if the wind plays a factor. If the wind plays a factor, I will come in on and the wind played a factor right there. So I was aiming right at the cup and it came in right on the inside of the cup. So if you're playing this hole on a regular basis and you are playing on that side, those types of short shots like that, it's important to know if wind is playing a factor. All right, hold on a second. All right, I'm gonna film a short. I'll just film some Tour 7. I'll just go out and play. I haven't played Tour 7 in a long time, and the courses are all different since I've played all these courses, and I've played a little bit of Tour 7 here and there, but like really played Tour 7. So I got to remember how to do all the shootouts and all the approach shots coming in. Some of these holes will be a little bit different. Like we just played this in the Mirage Cup, but what you can get with Rookie and what you can get in from the Pro Tees is a little different. I think think the way to go in this, especially if you're playing with lower developed balls, one-on-one, is to go to the left. Floating it up in there, well short of where you really want to be to have a real killer shot. Now, they do have a rough bump if their red line's right. Let's switch to a number 2 bag. I'm going to put on about 1.25 topspin, just a little. Just a bit. There's 5. There's 10, 2. Just try and hit it perfect. Hit it one ring great to the left. And just float it up there towards the top. Try and get out there as far as you can so that you can clear more of the sand when you're coming in. So the farther you get out there, the more you can straighten that shot out. But no matter what, I think you're going to have to put on a little bit of side spin. You want to leave yourself a little bit of distance in this transitional area down here when you're coming in towards the cup. But this is a very makeable hole from that spot. But I think from over here, the how jiggy you got to get with the ball. And watch, they'll make it. Consistency wise, you'll get this shot a lot. Sniper right at my red line. If I had a bigger ball getting up there, so I'm going to move back from the red line a little bit so I have a little bit of maneuverability. I don't really like where that bounce is going. You see, I move it more this way, it comes down. See if we can get our distance right. I'll put just a titch of curl on it. There's 5, and a little. I'm going to lean just a little, not a lot. Hitting it perfect. It's that second bounce I'm worried about. If we put too much curl, this second bounce will clip, get down in there. See if we can get it to roll off towards the cup. Not enough speed. A little high. Needed just a little teeny bit more curl, and I had room for it. I thought that second bounce would be a little closer. This is a hole right here that you can go out on, and it's pretty easy to get a birdie. But there will be a lot of people that will epic fail. More people will epic fail than get albies, or excuse me, eagles. That's just how that goes. It's a draw. Let's see if they'll replay. Louisiana Aces. Surprised they have internet. All right, I always do a 30% here at Max Club. And I like to shoot from the bottom. Let me get up here just a bit. And it likes to roll out, but I do have a headwind, so I'm going to be a little less backspin than I normally would. 10% would be 0.8. That'd be 2.4. That'd be like a 10-9 move. There's 5. I don't think I have enough wind. I don't have enough. I might. About 2 rings into power. And hit 1 ring great to the right. And my adjustment got screwed up there when I switched over to my driver, and I didn't go back to see what got messed up on it. I should have went over into that would have been a good shot to take from the top I don't like taking the ones from the top though and bouncing down to it. That gives you more leeway against that wind. I thought I'd pulled enough away from it, but it looked like I'd only pulled maybe 7 rings away from it, and I needed 3 more. Arrgh. I think my opponent's closer. Maybe. Maybe. We both epic failed on that. Whoever wins this that's the luck of the draw. Good game. All right. Let's see if that rematch. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Come on. Let me win my money back. Jesus. Jesus. Come on, man. Tour 7. Let's see if we can get some action. Real quick. Tony. Maybe we can get out there on the course. Maybe. Let's see what hole we get. Let's get one of the Jamel. I think this is one of them. Now with this kind of wind, we can go straight down there and get a little bit of extra with a lower power ball. Otherwise, my shot would be to switch to my number 3 bag and try and lay it up right here in this center. And there's a shot that you can take with a Cataclysm or a Big Dog to the cup. It's a makeable eagle. You can get in trouble. It is a way to get an eagle, and the drive's marginally safer than trying to pound it out there. If you get it way out there, you got a good deal. You need to get past that sand. Now you have all kinds of options. If you have a rock, you can try and lay it up right there in front. I really can't put a lot of curl on it to wrap it around. I can't get far enough up. Actually, let me switch to this bag right here. Okay, it's about 9 miles per hour. Let's try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can just lay it up in front of that deal. I might have hit it too far. I almost took myself out of the shot that I'm trying to take. I'm trying to come in along this rough line and do 1 bounce on this side, bounce over with my Cataclysm, and then run up to the cup for eagle. The deal on the other shot is that if you get out to the other end down there, you got a great shot, and you got all kinds of options. There's a rough bump that you can do from out there. You can, if you've got a sniper, you can do a rough bump down on that. Now, technically, that should be a downhill shot, so you should be taking wind off, because it is way downhill. Let's see where my red line is. I'm right at my red line. I want to get as close to that as possible. About five topspin. 1.7. I think it's 1.8 per ring, so I'm going to move it 1 ring. I just started playing with it. I think it's the same accuracy as my Big Dog. And I hit 1 ring great to the right. I should have leaned a little bit to the left to try and keep me out of that rough right there. And it would have brought me more towards the fairway, or towards the green. curl's not represented in our ball guide. So if you lean a little bit like that, it actually, where the first landing spot is, from that point on, that curl is really playing a factor. All right. See if we can get this in the cup. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my wind adjustment right. In the hole. Perfect. Don't have to take that shot very many times, but it is nice to get a perfect on one of those and make the right wind adjustment. And it still came in right on the left-hand edge of the flagpole, so I barely gave myself. I could have hit a great to the left, or excuse me, a great to the right and a perfect. Those are the only two shots that would have went in. Now this hole is going to be screwed for me because I've got, from the Pro Tees, I won't be able to get up there to do the rough bump. I don't even, they're in their Goliath right there, so I might be able to get up there and do a rough bump, but I doubt it. Maybe. That rough bump with that wind, it's pretty brutal as well. This shot from over here, I haven't taken the shot very much since they moved the tree because it took the shadow off and I didn't have any other spot out there. So I was like, they moved the trees around and you could start doing that rough bump. And that's a shitty result. So even if I have to do the shot from over there, which is probably the safe bet, when you're playing one-on-one, it's always best to go up and get your stuff and move on. So I'm right at max club. At 2.5. There's 5. There's 6, 7, 8, 7. Titch. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Needed just a titch more backspin so it would stick on that and then drop down towards the cup. That green's a lot different than it used to be, and that was the shot going in, and we wanted to get up there behind the green because it was flat. If you were below the green, you were on, there was a big shelf going up to the cup, and it was a difficult putt even though you weren't that far away. So the goal was to get up there behind it. Now let's open up this. Let's open up this chest. We're playing, we got to have an empty slot, at least one. And you're talking about rares right there, or epics. One of my viewers, Flappy, keeps telling me that I need to upgrade my razor, and I will upgrade my razor when I run out of all other cards. Because right now, for at least the next, I have enough for 300 days in other cards. And when I run out, if I don't play any, except for just playing the thing, for the next 300 days, I only have to pick epic cards that I'm trying to put points into. And I've been getting a card that I'm looking for about once every 3 days. So that means I'll be able to put 100 of those days, 300 points into just the cards I'm looking for. And then at some point I will run out of all other club cards to trade. And so I will have to upgrade my razor to get those points back that I put in there. And then I will do the 3 a day, because what'll happen is there'll be a lot of days that you'll get 3 crappy epics, a lot of days. And so now you're spreading your points over a much bigger pool, and you're going to have to expand your list. So for me, I'm not going to ever upgrade my razor until I absolutely run out of points to do it. And you could say that my epics will go up in level slower, but the faster if I did it that way. But the deal is I don't want all of them to go up faster. I only want 5 to go up faster. That's the deal. That's the deal, Flappy. So it's one of those decisions that you have to make if you're getting your club cards, if like once you get your commons maxed out and you start working on your rares. Like I made a mistake in this one in my odd account. The last one that I upgraded was my down and oneer. So it's a club I'm never going to use. And the razor, I'm never going to use the razor, but I got the down and oneer so often, I just got tired of it. And so I just upgraded it so I could get it the hell out of the mix. Six big tapas, 2.1 per ring, so I'm going to do a 3-ring pull. That's 6-3, and that puts me 3/4 of a ring into power. Hit a 1-ring great to the right. Here it'll be fine, but here it'll end up in the rough. Unless you bring out a bigger ball or you bring out a bigger club. See when I could get through there with the big topper. I would have been able to get farther into the... I should have checked an extra mile to see if I could pull the extra mile a little bit to get me a little bit more. In the case where I was at right there, I should have just did a max overpower shot. Because if you make it, if you can hit it, even if you hit it like 1 ring great to the left or the right, it's going far enough out there, it might be able to work its way through this neck where it'll hit the rough and bleed out. But if you just do a regular shot, just your only shot is perfect. Which evidently is easy to hit for everybody else. I like my chances here, though. Where's Max Club? There's Max. There's Max. There's mid. I'm eking towards the mid club. It's about 4 per ring. So it's 4 per ring. So that means that a ring and a half is 6. So somewhere close to a ring and 3/4 is 6/6. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I got it right. Just a bit outside. Over pulled it. Over pulled it slightly. I did that extra and over pulled it. Urgh. That was disappointingly far off. I hit one of those shots with my Spitfire or my Nirvana, and I expect it to be pretty damn close. And the way the wind's blowing, that was a big overpull. And it should be technically, because it is uphill. I think earlier I said it was uphill and it was downhill. Downhill we're supposed to add on wind, and uphill we're supposed to take wind off. That's the way it's supposed to work. It didn't work like that to begin with. They figured out some of this stuff, and part of it's been because I think the ring method came out so fast after the game started that they were surprised that somebody had come up with a workable method for the algorithm. And it's very easy for them to manipulate that, where they can put a variable in there that the wind works the way the wind works, but today everything's 0.1 more. You're just a little off. Or 0.3. They can manipulate that. You know they can. If you played the game for a long time, you've seen the way that the wind and the adjustments have progressed. And that's exactly the deal. Okay, so that'd be 8, 9. It's a 9-ring pull. I don't think I have enough backspin to get me up there to do the shot that I really want to do, but it's the only shot to take here. So it's a 9-mile-an-hour pull is what I'm saying. 1.8. It's 3, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 8, 6. I'm gonna move it that much. Hitting it perfect. I don't think I have enough backspin to get me to stop, but it'll be up there on the green. That's the best I could do with that backspin. I mean, I could have hit the flagpole and it went in the cup, so I suppose I could have did better, but this is definitely a better hole to come out with a sniper or a guardian. It used to be back in the 1-bag days, that was it. Like you had to pick a bag, and you had to be, I mean, like, especially for different courses that you were playing, having multiple bags set up so that you can have that big topper bag, or you can have that real accurate bag, or you can have, so if you went out there to practice, you were on a tournament hole that, like, if you used a big topper on this hole, it makes a big deal. Back in the days when you only had 1 bag, you go out there and practice with your big topper, and you play some one-on-one so you can get some time with it. You better be paying attention, because that club may not work. But what's funny is that you'll find that those clubs work on a lot of holes, and you may have to approach them a little bit different. But those clubs work great on lots of different types of holes. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See if they want to replay. Come on, man. Come on, dudes. Dude. What kind of crap is that? All right, I think I got one more video in me. One mo. Let's open up a chest. Let's open up that one. That one looked lucky. If you're opened up that chest and you got everything you were looking for, that's okay. None of us have gotten that chest. We're all looking for it. Here we go. All right, there's several ways to play this. The last time I played here, I ended up on a trajectory out in this area, and I wasn't sure whether or not my trajectory would lead me into the rough or keep me on the fairway. It was like right on that line. So I'm not sure I had enough. I'm going to play that shot just because this shot going forward is the absolute way to play this hole if you're in one-on-one. It gives you a great shot to the cup every time, and there's several ways that you can come at it from over here. You have lots of options depending on how the wind's blowing. There's definitely a wind adjustment, but you have a shot. I'm not sure that even if you could get to where you want over here that you'd have any better shot, so... Okay, so it's 3, 6. I have to move it 6 rings to get 9. A little teeny bit of overpower. I hit it 2 rings great on the outside. And it'll be fine there, but it'll clip. Let's see if it stays in the center. I'm not sure the angle from over here is any better, and I would like to get more distance. Baby. Now you can bounce off that island, or you can do a rough bump, but you can also bring a guardian and try and stick it up there on the cup. But you can do a rough bump from the other side. You got a nice clean rough bump. It gives you a little bit of room from your red line as well. Night, baby. Love you too. Bounce. Did he bounce? This freaking sand over here is a freaking trap, though. Try and get in front of that. Really try and go for it. Now, that wind is going to kill this ball, so I'm going to put just a little bit of that topspin back on it. Or a little less backspin. 5, 6. I'm going to move it 6, 1. I'm going to do a 10% adjustment. Oh, geez, it would be helpful if I could just hit something perfect. Still would have been short. Not much headwind. Every bounce it's getting pushed back, so it really kills, especially when you have backspin, and backspin is pulling it back. So the backspin doesn't take effect until it hits the ground the very first time, and then it makes a big jump, so the bounces are higher, and that allows the wind to affect them more. That's why it's always better if you can come into those areas where you only have like one backspin on it, because then it doesn't affect it, the ball flattens out more and starts to roll towards it, and the wind's not playing as big a factor. Going to a shootout though. I'm going to explore some shots like in one-on-one. There's kind of you can get into a rote deal when you're playing one-on-one if you're really harvesting chests, which is the whole goal. So like if you're trying to get 4 gold chests a day, like how much do you have to play? Now I'm going to try and get this right because I screwed this hole up the last time. Now let's see which way the wind's going. Let's make sure I give myself enough room to work that damn wind out. So I'm going to start up here at the top. Let's get where I can see my ball. I'm going to do 4 backspin. Let's see if that's enough. And I'm doing a 30%, so that's 1.8. So that's 7, 8, 8, 2. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. Try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. We can get a good read on the wind adjustment. So like I did 30% there, and look how far it pushed me off. But I like the distance with the 4 backspin. But I have noticed that if you're hitting against tailwind here, you may want to cut that down just a titch. Not a lot, but just a little. Because it'll push that ball, make that ball run a little faster. So you're in max club down there. If you're up on that hill. And that was at 30%, and I'm still that far off. But it's way in the hell downhill. So I could almost believe that it's bigger than a 30%. I think I'm going to keep in my mind that I'll go back and watch this video and see where it hit on its spot and where I was set up, and see if it's a matter of me having to change my side spin a little bit. Nice. Very nice. Nice shot. Good game. See if they'll replay. Maybe you'll get some bonus action. I was nice to him. I talked to him, so maybe they'll rematch me. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. There you go. Look at that. Helping out the crowd. Extra tough. Packing 1 inch. Now, really the only way to play this is in the bottom. In this situation, I'd actually be better off. I really want to get my ass way down there. Let's get way down there. Let's go for way down there. It's 2 per ring. So there's 10-5. So I'm a little less than 5 rings, not much. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. I have more room on the right, but I could run out of room way down at the bottom on the right. So if you bring a big enough ball, you can actually run out of fairway up here. So that'll be a good spot right there. There's several ways that you can come into this. You can bounce it over. If you bring a big enough ball and you have a guardian, maybe with a sniper, you can do. There's a rough bump on the other side. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I was doing some weird deal on this hole. I was like adding on 15% or 25%, and I was just shooting it at mid club. I had some weird. I don't even know where I was at in my club. I just picked it. I picked a number and I kept working the adjustment and found a spot that would work down there. And then the next time we played that hole in a tournament, I went back and watched the videos from the previous time and did the same thing and got some albies. But I can't remember what that was. So yeah, you could get up here and do several. You've got several options. Couple backspin. Let's get it aimed towards the cup. And I have to put more side spin on it. It won't go towards the cup. I'm going to do a 3-ring pull because it feels right. Hitting it perfect. Let's see how close we can get. Pretty close. So it's 3 rings. It's 1.8 per ring. So 3, 4, 5, 5, 4. My wind was 4.3, 4.7. I was trying to add on about 15%. Closed. It's hard to get. You have to play it a few times if you're going to bring a big dog or a cataclysm in order to get that ball guide. Like how much I put 2 on there, and I needed just a little teeny bit more, like maybe 2 1/4, 2 1/2. That's right at it. Right at it. Nice shot. Nice shot. Now the question is, were they trying to do the second bounce rough bump, or was that one of those? This is like we were playing pool with them and they got lucky. Look at that. I got my butt kicked twice. I got to rematch them again. I'm willing to lose again. Come on, man. I can get some. I can salvage something. There we go. Got 2 on me. 2 on me. Look at, you're getting bonus action right here. Have we been an hour? Pretty damn close. Here we go. Getting schooled. Now there's several different ways that you can go with this. And if I remember correctly, if you can get up into this area right here and you got a 3-power ball, there is a rough bump that you can do off that, but you have to have what my opponent has. You have to have a kingmaker. Because you need 3 side spin, and I don't know that you can get out there with a katana. Maybe. You can blast yourself over to the other side and get way in the hell down in there. But if you do that, you take yourself out of the rough bump shot. My opponent's in the perfect spot for the rough putt. They could be closer to the sand. They would have liked to have picked up more distance to the sand. We'll see. 2, 4, 6. That's 6, 8. I'm going to lean a little to the right. Isn't that perfect? See if we can get some run out there towards that sand. There we go. The more run, the better. I won't be able to get the shot down with one side spin ball if I want to do the rough bump. I think I'm going to have to go straight at it. You can't get it, or you can't get it to come around enough. My opponent's got a 3 power ball, and you can see where their red line's at. They didn't get as much distance as me. That ball's going to go way past it with that. There you go. Not exactly sure what they're doing. I think they're making their wind adjustment. That seemed like a pretty big wind adjustment, but maybe not. Get in the hole. Pretty close. Pretty close. It looked like they overpulled it, though. That was a low wind. I don't have enough side spin to get over there, I don't think. Maybe. Two, 1. I'm gonna do just a little less than 2. And I'm going to lean just a little. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if we can get it to drop. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. He beat me with an albatross. I beat him with an albatross. There we go. Good game. Good luck to you too, bro. All right, ending with a bang. There we go. Meeting somebody. I liked it so much better when you could meet somebody like that, and if you guys were both playing, you could just go out there and keep playing. There used to be none of that 3 thing. They were so concerned about people giving each other coins that they put a kibosh to that. And so it was much better when you could go out there and just, if you met somebody that you really wanted to play, you could just go out there and play. Have much more fun. It's almost like one-on-one. All right, that was some Tour 7. Thanks for watching. Hey, good luck in the tournament this week. I did post a video for my qualifying round. I didn't pick anything up, didn't drop anything. I just dropped a nice, clean -12. Didn't do anything special, but there's lots of opportunities out there to pick up shots. So good luck this week.